I've been working on an album that I'm now going to put together. I'm going to just show you how I take different pieces. Like this is a waterfall, mostly made of flip-flops and a couple images. All the decorating is not finished yet, but I wanted to show you how I put an album together. And tomorrow is show and tell at Friendship, and I thought giving you a visual of how I do something would help you when you go to put one of your albums together. I just noticed a loose piece of cardstock that has been glued down, and I'm just adding a little bit of gaff tape, construction tape, to put it together. So the main thing that has to go in here is this big flip-flap. I find it's easier to prepare it off of the book, so I like to prepare things off, then put two-sided tape on the back and then adhere it down. Now you can use any kind of tape you want. I find the two-sided tape has a good hold. Some people, there's score tape, there's all different kinds of tape, but I find this works well. And for corners and such, you can add some liquid glue too, and that'll give it a little bit more movability as we put it on, and it will make a strong bond. So I'm just taking off all these covers to the adhesive. And then I will place it on my mat board cover. Now what I do is I first make the mat board cover for sizing. See a little piece of construction tape there. Make the mat board first, and then make sure my pages fit it. I add just a little bit of adhesive to the corners. And okay, now this has already been sized previously. I want like 1/8 of an inch of my seams to show. And then I adhere it down. I'm going to use a bone folder to rub the edges. I found this Teflon bone folder, and it does not leave marks on black cardstock, so it's really lovely. Now again, there might be more additions to this later, but that will work for now. Now I have a lot of seams. See, there's joints made with construction tape. Here I have, I think I'll start at the corner. I have some magnets to adhere to the front of my album, and I'm going to just cover them with paper. It has double-sided tape on it, and I'm also going to add just a little dab of glue top of the magnets. Magnets are something I do not want to move. I want them to stay in there. Okay, bring this a little closer to me. Again, I have rounded the corners on this one just for aesthetic purposes. And I have a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch here. This is the flap over But that's the scrap I had. And this is called Passions, the paper pack I'm using by Stamperia. And all the papers go well together. It has pinks and aqua and browns. And you can decorate any way that is aesthetically pleasing to you. And we can add more die cuts and, of course, photos afterwards. Ah, it's on there too soon. I have these little pockets, and there's going to be things in the pockets. And these will not have as much use, so I'm not worried about how much adhesion there is. But I do have some blank spots when I put down the double-sided tape, so I will make sure there's adhesive in the blank spots. Sticks to my fingers. Now, and there's even these little half-inch folds between my hinges, and I'm going to put some decoration on those. It'll look nicer when you're looking at the album. I have some of these hinges covered. And I cut part of this same background paper, so all it is continuous. Now I thought I'm going to skip over here in case my tape runs out, which I've been doing lately. I just wanted to show you that you can use you can ink the edges to give it a smoother look, since we're using so many cuts. And I did this ahead of time, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is. You can use a brush or a foam. I find the brush gives a little bit bigger coverage, and it also doesn't rip up. But that's a good feature to add to your pages. Looks like I might be missing one here. Oh, it's inside. Okay. So here I have a nice big seam. I'm going to put that there. I did not round the corners of this because it's just a straight seam between the layers. And I'm just centering it. Now this is a little tedious, but if you have all your score tapes ready to go, it goes fairly quickly. Again, I missed a spot with the score tape. I have a little bit of liftage there, so adding some liquid glue, just in case. Now I'm getting glue on my hands. Okay. Now this one has no tape on yet. So the score tape is terrible. You can tear it, or you can cut it. It gives a little bit of neater look if you cut it. If you don't see it, you can burnish it a little. I made my book a 16th inch bigger than my pattern because I wanted to make sure, I know that's not a lot, but I want to make sure I have room for my photos and that the cover doesn't bulge. The cover is closed with strong magnets, so it shouldn't have too much trouble. Okay. Just going to add this little one here because I already have glue on it. And then I want to do my big box section. That was kind of funny. I just tore glue off and I already had some on there. I had a double layer. I think I'll continue the pattern there. Okay. Now I've made this box. It has lots of pieces and I've been taking pictures of all the pieces and everything. But I want to just attach it now. And I'll do a reveal of the whole book when I finish. It's a birthday present for one of my grandchildren, and which isn't till June. So I don't want her to see the video ahead of time. Don't want her to know what's coming. She's actually coming from Michigan to visit me, so I'm rushing to get this done. So it will be out of sight when she comes for a visit. Now this one, I am going to add liquid glue between every single score tape because this is very heavy. It's the majority of this book, and I don't want any slippage. And I want it to dry well and adhere well. So these little ones that aren't done yet, I will add on later. But I do want to show you, these are little envelopes, and you can stick photo mats. One side's photo mat, one side's not. Let's see. All sorts of photo mats you can stick into these little pockets, and they will hold well. And that gives you the thickness there. Okay. Let's put on our major piece. Now this has a square corner. It's got magnets on it, and I want it to be square. And there's a hinge. Just gotta make sure it goes straight in the hinge. It sort of sits there. We don't put any glue on the hinge. Just squaring it away here. And that should do it. Looks like it's pretty square to me. I think I'll put this extra photo mat here, and maybe we have time to do the cover. Sure it fits. Okay, my magnets are in place. I'm going to put a ballerina in the front. And this here, I might add some 3D effects. I don't know yet. And I was also looking at the binding. These were some of the first cuts I did. I had one piece of paper and I cut my side pieces off, And I found I cut a sign here, and that was going to be my back binding. And so I have a feeling that I might replace that piece, so I'm not going to adhere it today. I want that back piece, which will show all the time from a bookshelf, to be very special. Maybe even be a little 3D. Now, this is the cover. It's on mat board, and I have a big gap here, so I'm just going to add a little bit more liquid glue to make sure it doesn't come off. Okay, now I'm going to open it when I put this on. Again, I'm trying to keep 1/8 of an inch. And I just realized I need a piece here, and I haven't planned for that piece. So, cover will need some attention. Meanwhile, we'll put what we have done on. Might add a little bit more blue because I love this color blue. So I'm centering it. There we go. And my back hinge, I'm going to put this one that goes well there. Now this album has a really nice little case, so it can be a display case. And I've made the mat board of it. I have not decorated that yet either. So I think I'll just make another video. It'll show you how to decorate that. And then fix the problems I've discovered with this. Make sure it's upside right. Just the right size. There we go. I think the back of the album I'm going to just keep black. I'm not sure yet. So when you stand this up, put it together, you can see that there's room for pictures and photos and who knows what else. So let me just show you how I'm working on the cover, or the box. It'll be an album holder, but it's going to be decorated. And the fun part about this is it's going to have feet. So it'll actually be standing up on Victorian type feet. And maybe I could do the basics here. I have a back piece. I need the back piece on and the bottom on before I even decorate it a lot, because I want the feet goes up a little bit and I want it to go over the decoration. So I'll at least start it. I've never made a 3D holder before. I think it's going to be pretty. And what a nice way to display an album and to keep it nice. These 3D, if my fingers don't stick to it, these 3D albums are lovely, but kids like to take off pieces. So I've got to make sure it's adhered well since it's going to grandchildren. Now again, I see a little bit of gap, and this is the front of the album box. It'll probably get quite a bit of handling. So add a little liquid glue there, and just a little bit at the corners for placement. Give me a little bit of wiggle room when I go to put this on. I think the box will be a lovely place for some 3D images too. I think, let's see. I'm going to burnish that. I want to make sure that stays on well. I have some corner pieces. So I've never used metal feet before. I have some brads, and I'm going to use a clear glue that's supposed to be good for metal to hold the feet on, because they didn't really cover that in the class I took on how to attach the feet. Now this piece was going in the wrong direction, so I just double layered it a little to add a piece. And this is all made with black construction tape, holding the matte pieces together. There's my basic. So I've made holes with a crocodile, and I'm going through the bottom to put the brads on. But I'm not sure if I can do that on camera. It's an odd position. So meanwhile, I'll just put the back of this on. Because the bottom of this will also be under the little feet. So, and the box was easier than I thought putting together. It really is only a few pieces. 6 pieces, I guess. Maybe 5 pieces, 1 tall one. And I just put a couple pieces of construction tape temporarily when I did it on the sides to hold it in the right position. A little up top for maneuverability here. So it won't stick down right away. And okay. I have a join at the top of this box. And it's going to be covered with another pattern. Make sure I have my 1/4 inch, my 1/8 of an inch showing. I like the black trim. I'm actually going to work from this side so I can give it a lot of pressure. And I'm going to put this one, after I take off a little bit of glue, at the top. Yep. And that'll cover where I joined the 2 pieces of paper. Well, I did clear out my photo bin on my iPad, and it seems like I'm taping better today. Or at least it hasn't stopped. So I might try to put a foot on. There. Originally I was going to put that there, but I think I like it on the back. Let me get my clear glue. Okay, I read that Eileen's clear tacky glue is good for metal. Now the question is, how will my hands get in here well? I'm so nervous, my hands are actually shaking. Maybe I should put the corner on and then put the, that's what I'll do. I might just put the glue on first, and then when that adheres well, then put those in. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm putting glue in the corner. And when that's strong, then I will, and adhered well and solid, I will add the brads. My fingers are sticking together. It sticks my fingers together. I guess it'll stick this together. And maybe we need some tape to hold, some painter's tape to hold it in place while it dries. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm not sure of the qualities of the, or the characteristics of the glue, so bear with me as we learn together. Just want to make sure that it's square. I actually think once I have it on, the pressure of the box standing on the feet will keep it just the right position. Okay, last one. This is a low-tack painter's tape that I'm using to hold it in position. Let's see if we can turn this upside down. Oh, that one did it today. Oh, maybe because I didn't put tape on it. Not sure how long the clear tacky glue takes to dry. So we definitely want this part secure. But I think it will be pretty when it's done. Okay, this box will be obviously decorated more up here. Not a lot, because the album will be sitting right in it. So maybe the weight of the album would even be nice. And holding it together. So that's it for now. We shall see what happens with my feet. And I want to encourage you to play with these little books and make them your own. They're a lot of fun to work with.